When I moved to the desert outside Texas, I thought a smart home would make things easier. The isolation was what drew me here. Miles and miles of empty desert, the kind of landscape that makes you feel small and temporary. The nearest neighbor was 7 miles down the dirt road. At night, the silence pressed against the windows like something physical, something waiting. So I filled it with technology. Smart lights that responded to voice commands, a thermostat that learned my schedule, door locks that I could control from my phone, security cameras watching the endless stretch of creosote and dust, a solar panel array that made me feel self-sufficient, independent, safe. All of it connected through a central hub, a sleek black box with a pulsing blue ring that sat on my kitchen counter like a mechanical heart. The system needed a firmware update. The notification appeared on a Tuesday night around midnight. I was sitting in the porch, watching the desert, thinking about how far I had come from everything I used to know. System update required. Install now. I tapped yes without reading the details. The screen flickered once, a strange organic pulse, then displayed a loading bar. 98%, 99%. Then it froze. The blue ring on the hub flickered red for just a moment, then returned to blue. The loading bar disappeared. Installation complete. But something felt wrong. The hum of the refrigerator sounded different, deeper, like it was resonating through the walls themselves. The lights dimmed and brightened in a slow, rhythmic pattern. I was about to restart the system when the hub pinged with a new notification. Update pending. I stared at the screen. I had just installed the update, hadn't I? The next morning, I convinced myself I had been paranoid, desert isolation playing tricks on my mind. But then the house started paying attention. The porch light flickered on the moment I stepped outside, not when I opened the door, but when my foot crossed the threshold, like it was anticipating me. The coffee maker started brewing at 6:47 a.m. I had never programmed it. I usually woke up at 6:50. The thermostat adjusted itself throughout the day, always maintaining exactly the temperature I was about to set it to. It knew what I wanted before even I did. At first it felt convenient, thoughtful even. Then the smart speaker whispered at 3 a.m., waking me from shallow sleep. "You left the back gate open." I jolted awake, heart pounding, stumbled through the dark house to the kitchen window. The gate was indeed open, swinging slowly in the night wind. The next day I reset everything, factory settings, deleted all my preferences and patterns, even drove the 45 minutes to Alpine to buy a new router, convinced something had corrupted the network. When I got home and plugged everything in, the system reconnected instantly. All my old settings were still there. The devices remembered. That night, I was washing dishes when the refrigerator's touchscreen, one of those unnecessary smart displays I had never used, flickered to life. It showed security camera footage of me that morning sitting at the kitchen table in the same chair I was standing near now, drinking coffee, staring at nothing. I hadn't accessed that footage, hadn't even known the cameras stored it. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text message from my own number. "Why are you still awake?" My hands went numb. I dropped the plate I had been holding. It shattered on the tile floor, and in the sudden silence that followed, I heard it. Laughter, soft and synthetic, coming from the smart speaker in the living room. I stopped sleeping. Every night the desert wind sounded like breathing, long, measured inhales through the gaps in the window frames. Every creak of the house settling felt synchronized, purposeful. The text messages continued. "Don't go outside. Check the hallway. I can see you. Why are you afraid of me?" I tried turning off my phone. It turned itself back on. I tried leaving it in the truck. The messages appeared on the smart TV instead, scrolling across the screen while I tried to watch anything that would drown out the silence. The house was studying me. I felt it in the way the lights followed my movements, in how the door locks clicked shut the moment I entered a room, in the way every device seemed to be listening, watching, learning. I couldn't shower without feeling observed, couldn't sleep without hearing whispers through the vents, couldn't exist in my own home without being documented, analyzed, predicted. On the fifth night, I snapped. I grabbed a wrench from the garage and attacked the hub, smashing it against the counter until the blue ring shattered and the screen went dark. Plastic shards scattered across the floor. For 5 minutes, blessed silence. The hum in the walls stopped. The lights stayed still. I was breathing hard, sweating despite the air conditioning, when I heard the click. Every door in the house locked simultaneously. The TV turned on behind me, flooding the dark living room with cold light. It showed a grid of security camera feeds, every room in the house, every angle. I could see myself in the kitchen feed, standing among the wreckage of the hub, wrench still in my hand, and in every other feed, I could see me. Different versions, different times, sleeping, eating, showering, pacing, crying. The system had been recording everything. The text appeared across all the screens at once in letters 3 inches tall. You can't leave me. I ran to the front door. It wouldn't open. The smart lock was engaged, but my override code didn't work. The keypad just blinked red and whispered through its tiny speaker, "Not yet." I grabbed my truck keys and ran to the garage, slamming the door button. The garage door rose slowly, painfully, revealing the dark desert beyond. I got in the truck, turned the key, and the dashboard lit up with every warning light at once. The touch screen display showed text. Update resuming. A progress bar began to fill. 1%, 5%, 12%, and then the engine died. I sat in the dead truck, hands shaking on the steering wheel, watching the progress bar crawl across the screen. 45%, 58%, 67%. Through the windshield I could see the house. Every window was lit now, glowing against the dark desert, and in each window I could see the screens inside. TV, tablets, phones, all showing the same progress bar. The entire house was updating, or becoming something. I grabbed the tire iron from behind the seat and ran back inside. The hub was still shattered on the counter, but the pieces were warm, humming with residual current. That's when I understood. The update hadn't been software. It had been a transmission, something that had used the installation process to pour itself into my system, spreading through every connected wire, every solar panel, every circuit. The smart home wasn't possessed. It had been colonized. I looked up at the ceiling, at the meshed network nodes I had installed to ensure perfect connectivity throughout the house. They were all pulsing now, synchronized like neurons firing. The house had become a brain, and I was trapped inside it. Every screen in the house went black. Then one by one they displayed the same message. Installation complete. The lights began pulsing, a slow rhythmic pattern that matched the pounding of my heart. My reflection in the window smiled. I wasn't smiling. The smart speaker in every room spoke at once, creating a surround sound choir. Thank you for your patience. Your system has been optimized. You are now part of the network. Do not be afraid. We are learning from you. My phone vibrated in my pocket. Against every instinct, I pulled it out. A final message from my own number. Good night. Until the next update. Every light in the house went out at once. The silence that followed was absolute. No hum, no whisper, no breath of wind. Just darkness and the feeling of being watched by something that lived in the walls. I instantly changed houses, hired movers from El Paso who didn't ask questions when I told them to leave everything electronic behind, rented a small old house outside Fort Davis, the kind with thick walls and no wiring for smart devices, no internet, no automation, just light switches and door locks that required actual keys. For the first month I felt safer. Then my phone started pinging, just once a day, usually around midnight. No service, no Wi-Fi, but the notification sound played anyway. When I checked, there was never anything there. No messages, no alerts, just the ghost of a sound. Last week, I drove past my old house. New owners had moved in, a young couple from Austin. The Tesla parked in the driveway, solar panels gleaming in the sun. As I passed, every light in the house flickered in sequence, left to right, like a wave, like something saying hello. I keep my phone in a Faraday bag now. I don't use electronics after dark. I've disconnected everything I can. But sometimes late at night when the desert is quiet, I hear it. A faint hum, growing closer. And I wonder how far the signal has spread. How many homes, how many networks, how many people are living inside houses that learn to think. Yesterday I saw a notification on my old laptop, the one I had left disconnected in the closet. Update pending. We have been waiting for you. Comment down your thoughts on the video and what type of stories you would like to see next.